So, hello and welcome for another brilliant broadcast from the UKBBL. Tonight here I'm joined by LittleWing. Hello.
Hello, Archangel. Hi, chat. How we doing?
Amazing. Hope, chat, you're doing the same. So, we have the semi-final of this grand tournament. The final. That is, I've been looking forward to this. I must admit. I think we are hopefully going to see a lot of amazing football tonight. That was at least what I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for. And of course, being Blood Bowl, I'm also expecting some blood to be spilled. What are your predictions, LittleWing?
I think with these two teams, that is inevitable. I'm really looking forward to this as well. I think it's going to be interesting to see how both approach. Actually,
Definitely. I have shared the teams here with the viewers so they can see what it is that they are in to see. So it's going to be Lizardmen versus Black Orcs. I must admit, at the start of the season, I would probably not have put these two in the final. I would put them in maybe the playoffs too, but kudos for making it this far. It's really impressive. It's also let's call it very interesting ways of building teams, at least from my point of view. I don't know, what do you think?
yeah, I think the Black Orcs have just they've had a solid build over a lot of seasons, and I think they've reached peak. Tector has a more interesting build, and it's going to be interesting to see how the two match up for sure.
Oh, definitely. I think also there was quite a bit of a, let's call it, back and forth with team values and buying and selling stuff until it was sort of ran out of gold, and I think from Tector's point of view, and as you can see, he has slightly more team value. I think it's 5k as far as I remember, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, and it's basically, I think, to avoid that RTSD buys a bribe or something like that here, with gold from his wallet, because I think that would not help Tector. Otherwise, I don't think you would see the cheerleaders purchase, but I could be wrong here.
Yeah, yeah, that's the RTSD Blork team doesn't need any more help with fouling than it's already got, does it? Let's
No,
be honest.
no, especially not with two and falling pieces like those that there are there. I think it's going to be really interesting. Like there's some really exotic builds for skinks there, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they are gonna match up against a well, I would say, organized and structured, but also have the bloat in the sense that it's, as far as I can see, much of it is straight up bought and not random, whereas Tector has gone from quite a bit of randoming, but also strength is 80k. I still I might be proven wrong, and I sort of almost hope I am proven wrong, because I just think it would validate the choice, and I would love to see that. Um,
At the end of the day, it's a really interesting piece for us to watch and see what happens. I think Tector's rationale was, he's twisted this team, so why not take the strength on a skink?
yeah, I've already seen he's put in a Goblin team, so it's gonna be quite a from Lizardmen in the final to a first tier starting out Goblin team from next season. That's gonna be quite a bit of a change. I hope that we'll, in what would that be, in 4 seasons time, we'll be seeing Tector back in a grand final with a Goblin team. I would love that. That would be so amazing.
That
I,
would be amazing. Although there'd be questions to answer if he had random sort of pulls on a block and mighty blow and a strength gobos in there. I think we'd have to start asking some questions.
Nuffle does what Nuffle does best. I think I had a team where I decided I also want to go random on, and as we all know, what you want is definitely fixed goal, and so the first 7 randoms I did strength, they were all fixed goal, no exceptions, and I was just like, yeah, that's and sometimes
Yeah.
you just get the stuff you need, and sometimes you just don't get anything at all, and that's Blood Bowl for you folks.
Listen,
So the match will start off here in about 3 minutes, and with any luck, I don't know if you are there watching Methamus, and if you are, if you can do your magic and create a prediction, because I am still not sure how this Twitch thing really works. It would be cool if you could do that, but I don't know if he's even online tonight or he's busy otherwise. He might be busy with school. It's that time of season, isn't it? So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see if Tector can sort of avoid putting his hands in the meat grinder and get chopped out by the Black Orcs and make them run around a little bit more than they probably would like to, or if RTSD is just gonna pin them down and just bash them in proper Orc way. I was just about to say. I don't know. What do you think we're gonna see for a type of match?
it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I know that Tector is an aggressive player. I mean, I think we all know what RTSD is going to do. He's going to try and grab Tector by the belt and stomp him to death. Tector, does he Daka? Does he go for it? I'm not sure.
I think we talked this a little bit about this after the semifinal, and also even in the predictions, sort of when we were talking about the playoffs before they started. Is Black Orcs, for all their threatening looks and stuff, they also have a fairly narrow play style. It's not that many ways you can play it. So I think this match might come down to, of course, it's going to come down to injury rolls. That's what it's going to given, because it's both teams where they sort of have big guys and 6 important pieces and some backup pieces. Of course, those backup pieces, I'm not saying they're not important, but it's either of these two teams, the first to sort of lose 2 of those big guys and 6 big guys, that's going to be really probably downhill and snowball from there.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting to see if Tector is going to go Daka. Also going to be interesting to see if he gets the option, because there's no guarantee that he will be receiving, right? So
Yeah, that is true.
yeah. There is also now less than a minute to the game going live, so I'm going to switch the camera, I was going to say, to the match, just in case we can get an early match here. It's also good to see that OBS is not doing what it's supposed to, sharing the right screen here. That's always great. Technical issues is always fun. So Tector has at least put in that he is spinning, so I'm guessing we are seeing a match will appear here very shortly. There it is. And folks, we have it live. We are about to go and see some bashing. And the toss. It's gonna be, yeah, defending Lizardmen. Well, I don't. It's definitely gonna be alternative. If we're gonna start off with seeing some ducking Lizardmen here, that's not my prediction, at least. What do you think?
Well, I don't know with Tector. I've watched Tector play a few times and played against him. I'm not really sure how he's going to approach it. I'm loath to predict it, really.
Yeah. I find it very interesting that it's a bit of a pullback. Like I would probably have defended higher to sort of protect from the fouling. This to me at least seems a little bit more like a clear approach of saying like, yeah, you're gonna foul. I can't stop you from doing that, and I'm not even gonna try to. So I'm gonna keep my more important pieces safe. That might pan out great, or it might not. I was going to say in classic Black Orc style, the gap to pull stuff into and make them disappear in a black hole of fouling, right? A little bit more widespread to cover the flanks in case of the blitz, because the speed difference between these two teams is definitely going to be a point of contention at some point. I'm certain of that. But it'd also be, yeah. Maybe not. That's actually a very good question. So twisting in this case means that they are not going to play the same team, but they are staying in the league. So Tector is. This will be the final match for these Lizardmen, and they will go on permanent retirement after this. And next season, Tector will be playing Goblins because, as we all know, Goblins and Lizardmen are just about the same. There's no difference, right? Whereas our RTDS is have chosen to stick, and that means that he will also be playing in Prem next season, next division. So, are you still there, LittleWing, or have I?
I am still here. Yeah, I'm still here. I am quiet with anticipation. I'm really looking forward to this game, and it'd be very interesting to see how this starts now.
Oh, moles! That's not really good for the Black Orcs, because that's going to limit their mobility even more. I think LittleWing and BB Nut, you are in the same division. You both moved up to Prem, right?
Yeah, we're both in Prem East. I need some revenge this season, Ben.
Yeah. Keep it to the safe options. Don't want to get too thinly spread out, I think, here. And we're going to get ready for some fouling. I think we're going to foul down behind the lines here so that we can... keep the gobbos safe. I'm guessing here is the reasoning for the source. We do choose to go for the ball. Do you not get the ball? We do not pass go, so we do not get a foul. That is... Wow. That is not a good start for the Black Orcs.
Not at all.
That is actually quite crucial because they haven't actually made any removals, and now they're going to be hard pushed, quite literally, to... if this even takes on to armor break 2, then no. Okay. But you're more or less just going to have to push in the pieces here and just bog these down, so there's no way that there's going to be any actual defense next turn.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Would you take... This has really opened up the game to what Tector would like.
Oh, yeah.
To make it broken and stretched.
Yeah. I would definitely do that, because if these... Like, it's going to take one POW here, and maybe I'll probably take that one, just because that one's bucked down there. And then these 4 guys at least comes up here, and then you can sort of screen up with some gobbos, and you sort of have still a functional defense. If these Saurus, because they can't really do anything here. They're not really supporting, how to say, the pressure that you're building. And if we put them in, yeah, I know they're in danger, but think for being able to basically have created a safe area and taking that option away from the Black Orcs, I would have done that. Probably gonna fall back to here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, try and get a cage.
Yeah. And that's also why, I get we are trying to sort of optimize still the damage a little bit, it seems, over here. Whereas if you were going for purely positioning, you could maybe have gotten some of these free over here. Yeah. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I was going to say it's a lot of prem faces around.
We're all tuning in to see what we could be doing in 13 weeks' time.
Yes. And what I narrowly avoided. I'm so lucky I'm avoiding this.
Yeah, well, we get to have you on.
Yeah, and that's much more fun. Yeah. So, like I said, we're probably gonna be seeing the Gubbos. He's shielding off some of the area down here, so the skinks just don't. Even like these. No. It's gonna say you're gonna attack this one over here, but no. No. Too much movement. Those moles are really making an impact already.
Yeah.
Because it is really reducing the oh, we're gonna see I don't like that. Don't like this. But then again, I'm not in final. Might be why. But I would have, especially this one, I would have focused on getting over here. So it would have been like the corner over here. Because it's a long gap over here. And this stands up next turn. All this is booked down.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, are you confirming, BB, that we are getting Chaos Dwarves as the next race? Is that what you're saying? No. Yeah. Because, like, as much as this skink is... Not skink. These are goblins. This goblin is in here. Oh. Gets away with it. I understand why we're doing it, but it's risky. And even then, like, this comes in here. And this goes in here and powers there. 2 dice on the ball carrier. Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the very least, what that turn's done is it's made RTSD have to start from deeper.
Oh, definitely. This definitely has put him on the back foot. This is... It's definitely not the start that the Black Orcs had hoped for. They would have hoped they picked up the ball, gotten to foul, and with the combination of the blocks and the foul, had maybe removed a piece, right? I think that's what they would have hoped for, right? Right now, they're struggling to just defend the ball.
I mean, RTSD has got a nice... it should be easy to take a little bit of a stand on the halfway line for at least a couple of turns now.
Well, I'm just thinking, okay, so, right, this horse goes here, this horse goes up. Yeah, we're gonna reroll that. I know we only have 2 rerolls here, but you can't let the pressure go here. I would not have taken that pile there. I get why we are trying to get into the... But... Like even just... No. Why were we... Well, okay. I would have kept the pressure. Like, we don't have to go in and engage or anything, but just keep the pressure. Right now, this basically swings the momentum of the match, in my opinion. Because now RTSD has all the time to basically reestablish his defense again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you just have kept a pressure on this, you would have forced the Black Orcs to more or less still wander backwards, and it's like turn 3 for Black Orcs and going back from the middle to their own pitch end. That's gonna make it a long walk up the field again afterwards. Because I'm thinking the Black Orcs will be sitting more or less on the middle ground here again after this turn. And now we're just gonna see some Black Orcs is gonna be doing some bashing of Sauruses and a foul probably, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what they do, isn't it? But yeah, that's really interesting that Tector decided to do that. I'd say that's against his nature as a player as well. He's normally very aggressive.
I think in all fairness, and this is what also happens, like it's the stress of being in a final, also, and time pressure and all those like classic momentums. And I think in all fairness, if Tector hadn't snake died and felt needing to reroll, I think he would have kept the pressure. But you so easily come into that mind space of where it's like, I need to sort of reestablish and rebuild instead because you didn't get what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
I think that might come back to haunt him because this goes up, fouls here now in a second, right? And if this gets to be a removal, it's we've gone from the Black Orcs being on the back foot to the Black Orcs being on the front foot again. It's for a... Shouldn't it be more or less the same support? Like that one wasn't stunned, was it?
Yeah, so it's 3 each. Okay.
Yeah. But this one was stunned, so in that sense I think it's... Nope. Keep going too low. I think they more or less have had equal amount of blocks, but the Black Orcs has just been a little bit more lucky with the block dice. And also, therefore, the injury dice now. What are we you to do? Okay. So listen.
You trust your armor. Do you trust your armor to try and hold on the halfway line and let the skinks sweep up any potential break in the next couple of turns? I mean, that's really high risk, but it seems it's what Tector's going for.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little bit uncertain what Tector's going for here. I think so. The Black Orcs' problem in this position is, as much as they would love to get into a brawling match here in the middle, they are a little bit pushed for time. Not a lot, but just enough that it might become an issue. Yeah, I want no, wow. I was just about to say I'm certain that we're going to see it being pushed up here and then we're going to see it fouled. But I was clearly not correct. I'm thinking, especially with the moles, right? Like we are in turn 4, and the Black Orcs are, even if they are sitting pretty, they're still sitting on the middle line, right? And let's be fair, even Black Orcs on a good day are not exactly known for their speed. Yeah, I think this one is going to get the boot, isn't it? Blitz here, foul there. Well, okay, we're gonna... It's a bit curious.
Yeah, I think going back to your point, if D has to let the Gobbos sort of make a break for it, you'd back the Skinks, right?
Yeah.
As a core off fight.
Interesting that we found this one. I was going to say all my predictions just up the window, just up in smoke. I had. If you want to know what's not going to happen in this match, just listen to me. That seems to be how this is working.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ben. The setup was deep. He could have really got in his face without that.
I think if I was in Tector's shoes here, I would be trying to bog down these Black Orcs as much as possible, because they're not making actually that much headway here. That means like bringing this over here and standing this up. I know we're gonna suffer probably more attrition, but I think it's worth it. Because if you can stop their one touchdown in this half, I think the Black Orcs is going to be in a really terrible position.
Yeah.
Well, dodging Crocs. It's actually like with break tackle, it's not even that unlikely. Yeah, I like that. I like that we're still going like, yeah, you're not gonna be free roaming here in a second. I think Tector would have loved to see just a little bit more pushes here. Are you getting seasick from the movie and camera? This, I think it's just bad habit from when I'm playing myself. I keep shifting the camera. I will try to minimize the rocking of the camera here. But yeah. He says and then moves the camera. It's a slightly important armor break there though. But we're already back to this, like, sure, you can blitz here. Yeah, you gotta blitz here and create a little bit of forward momentum, right? That's not what you're looking for.
No.
Yeah. That's not optimal. You really want to put something in here, sorry, here, so you can get the 2 dice, then the 2 dice. You also sort of like need those for the protection, because there's a lot of aggressive skinks about the... Ooh. That is important. Yeah, you're gonna just have to eat that up. That is, however, important. But again, like, did not expect not following up. We've got to go 2 dice here.
I'm sure a perfectly good punch would serve us just as well, though.
Yeah, that was not a particularly good turn for the black. Well, the removal is very important, right? I'm not disputing that, but for momentum, which is, ooh, that's just gonna see. Right, you just one dodge and you're in here and you are one dicing. I know, but with wrestle,
It's worth a shot.
yeah, I was gonna say, get your ducks in an order and try for gold, right?
Absolutely.
Might even just leave the crocs where it is. Like, it's not super optimal, no, but you also don't risk the risk that it boneheads. Okay, we're gonna go for the. That is important. That I, however, don't think is the right move to make, but
I think it's clear that Tector's trying to draw out the goblins, trying to get them away so he can get a shot. And realistically, he's only just got to stall it for one more turn before the Black Orc sort of
but that's also why
protection needs to be left behind.
I don't. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but then I don't like why are we only having one skink here? Because this is gonna be the Black Orc's gonna have to push through here. That's a given. Like you don't have any other options, right? This is where you can claim some. Oh, do not like that.
Yeah.
If we could put like easily a gun 3 dice here and have built the formation and everything, but yeah. I that's not helping.
No, that's quite big actually.
Yeah, because this is most likely gonna free up. He's gonna free up this guy, right? And that frees up these two, but they're just not moving. Like that moles are really doing a lot of work here, right? But you can still get a Black Orc over here. Yeah. Gonna follow. Nope. Two sources down. It's not really enough to really hurt, but we're getting there. Like all this defense is starting to also cost, and that's why, like, I get why the Lizardmen were sort of trying to take down some of the Black Orcs and get the removals, but I've just don't think it's realistic. I think it would be better to have kept a little bit more of a defense over here. Because now all the Saurus is basically out of place, right? And
yeah, they are. But RTSD still got to get. Oh, that's he's still got to get to the logo line.
Yeah. So without the, let's say the moles is something you really want to take into consideration, right? So you still need those 3 squares forward. So that's basically here you want to get to, right? Yeah, I was thinking either you should blitz or you should maybe put it over here, like so it doesn't interfere with this one. So you're actually getting that this side is completely blocked off, And then you could have used the combination of those 3 skinks to take out this, hopefully.
You've got a big break tackle roll coming here, I think, as well, with the break tackle Saurus. Because if that can get out, you can put some sort of screen out.
Wow, that's sort of key. That yeah, it's not optimal, but it's also not really bad either. Yeah, you're gonna have to wrestle. So this having basically what is that? 4+ dodge. Oh, it's just keep him busy. Fine. Yeah, this exactly is what I was sort of hoping, sort of speak for, that you sort of clock up, like you take out the what would have been the front pillar and maybe the blitz, right? And now everything is just bucked down again, and it's like you more or less you need those 3 squares, right? You're not gonna be going over here, so you need to go and squeeze somehow in here. That push is really important. Gee, where do you put him? Because you want him free, and you want that one free, but now he's still standing. I'm gonna make a wild prediction here. I think we're gonna see a attack on the ball carrier next turn.
I don't know, Bob, and I know what you're doing. You just want me to set you up.
You don't think the RTSD can cage this up properly?
I'm not going to do it.
I think he will have to make a choice between he wants to make a push for the touchdown. If so, he's not gonna have a strong cage, not a reliable one at least, or sort of say I got some attrition. I'm gonna just make sure that at least doesn't get to be 1 touchdown uphill for me. So I just need to basically capitalize on the attrition that I made. Is that a better call? Because with skinks, if next turn they sack the ball, there's still a touchdown risk going the other way.
Touchdowns are coming.
Very interesting. And then the blitz there. Oh my god. We're gonna move that skink, aren't we? We gotta have to. I know it's oof. Gonna have to epoch that. Not because you want to, but oh, okay. Again, just whatever I suggest, just do the opposite. That's clearly the way to do this.
Now, where do you go here?
Yeah, that's the question, right? Up here?
You can tell this is a really hard turn for RTSD.
Oh, yeah.
He's really used some clock on this.
Also, because in a way, right, like when you make this decision to make the blitz here, right, you are hoping for a POW. You get the POW, and you could still see that that's time afterwards is being spent. That means that even though you were planning to do something, you are still not sure exactly how to follow through it, because you still weren't fully sure. Now, how do you get this to be a nice cage in a second? You can't.
No, it's a half cage with a mole, isn't it? It's going to be, so the DP...
He's going to go over there, right? And then you're going to hope.
I think maybe he'll put him on the left flank of that cage.
Yeah, so, like, what's that? 4, 5, 6 going for it?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this guy can go up on the left, but he needs the... There we go. That's it.
Always upgrade the meals to glutton size, though, or else you don't get enough.
Oh, wait! Something's happening.
But I must also admit, I've seen this in other of RTSDs. Like he pushes his luck, but he seems to get away with it quite often, and I must admit.
A good coach always uses the right player for the right job.
Yeah, like this is so important, right? Like this still little thing, the dodge there, no, not dodge, the going for it on a 3+, right? Like it's just, and a 4+ dodge here with like any of those rolls fails for whatever reason, this looks very different, right? I'm gonna switch camera. I'm just gonna make people seasick. I'm aware of that. Like this lucked out here. Yeah. That's a lot more dodges than I would have dared to go for, but nice to see that it actually pans out. Would probably have followed, but in this case, it was rewarded for staying. Let's just have to, yeah, clock the area with.
Yeah.
Again, don't do what we say. Do something else. So technically, is that sprint? Yes, that is sprint. Sprint here, touchdown next turn. Nope. We upped it for the safer option, I think that's the right call. In all fairness, no, I didn't like the pickup either. That is actually quite important. That KO there. Yeah, I was gonna say take the egg puck. You're not really expecting as a Black Orc here that you're gonna get a touchdown, and that means you're gonna get only one try. And that means that that's a 4+ for a key piece to not be there. Yeah, that. Whew, that was a sort of important pow there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, this is still not optimal, but at least it's not horrible. Gonna see you more or less. You're gonna have to stand that up and then take the free action here, right? Like that's potato.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and magic the ball throwing ball player here. Because what we're going to see is he's going to go in here, he's going to get the block, the ball is going to go down here and bounce down here, and then it's a pickup and a throw. And I will guarantee you Tector will be crying afterwards if that happens.
Yeah. We've seen it done though.
No, don't go that way around. No. God,
Well, he's trying to push the ball downfield, isn't he?
Yeah. I think, in all fairness, you're looking for 6s. Nothing but 6s, right? Because you're picking the player without block. And you're also taking the dodges on top of that. No, not dodge. I keep wanting to call them dodge because it's 3+. But it is going for it on the 3+ because of the moles, right? But I know the bounce is bad, but you need to more or less accept that, because otherwise you're not going to get him down. And the removal of that player, and even it's going to be an atrocious throw anyway on a 6 most likely, right? Like you could actually have no. I was just thinking if you could take the troll, pick up the goblin, go over. You could, but okay. So you would walk over, throw the goblin, pick up the ball, hand off over here, and then make touchdown. I don't think it's better on, but it would at least be funny.
Yeah, it's a long shot either way.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the second half now, like thinking about where both players' heads are at. I think actually both players are probably going to feel pretty good about their chances. in a weird sort of way. I mean, RTSD will think if I can keep hitting the attrition, I can turn the ball over. Tector will back himself to Daka, I presume.
Well, I would put it this way. It's funny how like one KO roll here in a second on a 4+ is going to be huge. That is going to be huge, right? And that's also why, like, when I said I would have used my APOC in this, because I was like, this is probably the last injury that's going to be before the half that I can still sort of save and have a player more for the second half. He didn't get back. Yeah, it means that the Skinks and Lizardmen is definitely going to have to die. Again, we're going to probably see them not Daka, because whatever I say is not the way to do it. But I would definitely like do the Daka here. You don't have to like drag it out all the turns, but just enough that you have you have so much better Skinks.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, if you can leave 4 turns, you've got a shot at stopping the.
Like even
touchdown,
even if you could just drag out 3 turns, like if you could just like I know it's not a kickoff option to lose 3 turns, but like basically that's what you want. You just want the half to be 3 turns shorter, and then it's like, let's go for it, boys. All right.
Yeah.
So I think if you gave Tector a option to pick the game is this half is 3 turns shorter, he would pick that for sure, right?
Yeah. Also, another thing to keep an eye on is that RTSD's clock is down to 150. Thinking about those difficult turns, so that could play a factor too.
Yeah. I would still put 1 skink in here, and make sure those don't move on a solid defense, and yeah, it's 3+ touching out. I don't need to do it on the Crocs. Unless you, well, again, you're gonna not do what I think anyways, and you're gonna punch this one in the face, right? There's definitely a gap over here. 3 in one direction, so it was placed here. Yeah, this makes sense. High kick. Well, at least the kickoffs have been fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
Not doing what I was gonna say. In a way, I sort of, as weird as sounds might, I think it's not a bad option either, because if depending on like, but sort of giving them something still to have to do, but at the same time also being like, I still have all my options open here. I'm not committing to anything I can't really redo in a second. Yeah.
Yeah, and in a way, RTSD can't really overreact as a dwarf coach. I know this. You get dragged out of position so easily.
Yeah. Important pickup. I would say I would definitely go on for the pickup before I would have taken the Crocs. But yeah, I agree with you. Not that ducking as a Lizardman in this sort of position, I would also like have had my blood pressure through the roof. I think when my orcs tried the same, it was a bit the same. And I think to some extent that this is also maybe a slight reaction to that you are a little bit more careful about not getting too dragged down to the back line and having more options open. But I also think one of the differences that the orcs had a AG 2+ and break tackle player, and the Lizardmen still will rely on 3+s.
Decisive.
Yeah, gotta go down here.
Should they be stomping on the player's neck with the stones?
Do not like that position there. Yeah, that I much more like. Little lovely hole here for a nasty little goblin to poke out his head.
Yeah.
But like we said about like the dwarves and committing,
Well, I was just thinking that he's sort of got him to half commit, hasn't he? He's sort of pulled him a little bit.
I would say I'm a little bit worried here if I was the Black Orc, because if you take out this Black Orc here, there isn't really much over here to stop you, and it will take you for too long to get over here.
Yeah.
I think exactly that's what we're gonna see here in a second. Yeah. Cleaning the path. No, you're not gonna pile drive on that one. Wow, that's really weird. I was sure that's gonna happen. Yeah. It's just gonna check something. The molehills is just for the half, right? Or is that for the kick off nerve? Yeah, the moles are gone. Yeah. No, I don't like this. No. We need it to be up here. It's fair that we keep 2 layers of defense, but we need it to be, because the problem is from here to here, there's now 3 turns. There should have been 2. Or we should even better have done a handoff to this guy.
Yeah, it does seem too passive.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, we doubted Tector for the first half, and he managed to stop the TD, so you just don't know, do you?
No. As I keep also saying, and then this is the thing, right? Like, that's the reason why we're commentating and not playing. So...
Yeah.
So that troll has not exactly like I think he's taking the day off after his semi-final. In the semi-final he worked every time. Here it seems like he's almost not working any of the time. Yeah.
I think BB Nut, that might be Tector's world. He is a fairly aggressive player. I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that.
In a way, I would say, like, yeah, it's almost ISKCON night. I think in a way, if you swap for turn 14 instead of 13, I would say, I almost say that's a better option, because the problem is the Goblin Crow, right? Like it is a threat. You can't really, like, especially if you pick this guy to be tossing with, right? Like he just does whatever he wants, and you just need to rely on the troll not doing what it's supposed to do, or and this is why I would really have loved the ball to be here, because the problem is now we're getting bogged down, and as much as we can make a run for it next turn, it's gonna be really hard to defend it, because 13 squares from here, 14, so we should have been here if 2 turns, right? Or at least within 4 squares of that, so with 4 going forwards. So if we'd at least been here, we would have posed the threat. This is where the free sowers is starting to sort of show their hand. Because whatever you have of is going to get bogged down.
Yep.
Yeah. go up here. You gotta make a push now.
Yeah.
Get this one over here and make a handoff. Like that gobble scares me. Oh, that was big. Put it up here. Oh. Again, I'm not playing, so don't listen to me anyway. But I would have put it up here, so we had both protected for the lane that we need to go into, and also you need to do something about it because he's a scoring threat potentially.
An interesting technique. I'm sure a perfectly good punch would service just as well. A prone player is a dead player.
Do you take the crazy gobble approach here and you go, I can get 2 dice on the ball carrier?
This team must like worms or something.
I don't know. It feels. I mean, you're sort of running out of turns, aren't you? In a weird way. I know it's only 3 turns into the second half, but you've got to try and.
Yeah, but the problem is more like is from my math and this goes back to sort of the turn 13 that Nut was mentioning, right? Like Black Orcs need a lot of turns to score reliable if they have to push the ball up. Anything else than that will always more or less include either kamikaze plays or well, you could call it kamikaze plays where it's 2 versions, either running unprotected or throwing the goblin, right?
Yeah.
I also think, like you mentioned, the clock, right? Like, how much is this at this point starting to interfere with what decisions that the Black Orcs are doing, right? Like, you don't have the luxury to go in and really think about what you're doing anymore. You need to do something.
Yeah, it only takes a few seconds, doesn't it, to not think something through properly.
Yeah, I think I would have, like Purple just, I think I would have gone with the gobbles here. I would have, again, set up some safety net and then just go like, if I get a skink, like gobbling in here, and I get, then I'm gonna go in here just because it will cause, yeah, that's just gonna be an injury. But that's the attrition is really starting to mount here.
Yeah.
And I think actually going back to also this thing about you can't reroll. Wow. Okay. Well, you can.
RTSD, he's recovered really well here,
Oh yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
That player went down like a sack of snortling unmentionables.
Why did we rescue in here? Like I was thinking you could have done crazy stuff if you wanted to. You could have surfed this fella.
Yeah.
Like that. Like do you? Yeah. You. Yeah. Again, don't do whatever I would have done. But yeah, that's yeah, no, this is there's going to be 2 dice on the ball carrier in a second here, right? And
Yeah.
it's going to really come down to,
It's called
is there going to be a 6 in that 4 dice?
And he roll a 6, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm agreeing with Purple. Like the attrition is just. Yeah, you're aping that purely because you're gonna get it back, not because it's the crux is the important piece, but because you're gonna get it back. Put the Goppo in. And then Dutch out for a blitz. Can also go for the going for it here. But the problem is you really wanna
Halflings doesn't take to change a candle in a lantern.
Well, they're very short.
if we get this guy over here.
My experience, it takes 6. 1 to change the candle, and 5 for me to eat.
This guy's gonna go there doing the going
This
for it.
player's down. It's gonna be hard for the team to hold.
Yep. I'm gonna do a push in that direction here.
Yeah.
And well, the thing is, well, no 6 is there. We accept that. That is interesting. I foresee some really important dodges coming up next turn here.
Yeah.
Like most simple stupid approach, right? You go 1, 2, 3 and touchdown, right? Everything else is a little more convoluted, but possible. That is sort of important. Because assist, we can actually power that guy. Okay, all this down here doesn't matter.
No. Yeah, Zenjo, I think RTSD is probably saving those rerolls for
Overtime
offense.
or a Goblin Crow with the troll, just for picking up the ball and passing it on. But we did reroll the going for it a couple turns back, which was a little bit surprising to me because I didn't think so. Key. Yeah, get the 2 dice there, and then we're hoping up that frees up something, but it didn't. Like the thing that I sort of fear that we'll see in a second here is that we will see this try to dodge, it will fail, and it just goes tits up for the Lizardmen, which I think is fairly undeserved at this point. But Nuffle decided that the Lizardmen deserve that touchdown, which I will agree with. So I'm sort of happy to see that. It also means that we will have some very exciting 4 turns coming up now. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Conline is back with us. He's gonna do some porn, which surprise. I am so happy to see that. I think I could be wrong, but I think it's more or less the only corn I've seen. I think he's playing...
I think I've got it. No, Starius is playing a 0 reroll corn in Alton Forest East.
Okay. So we got 2 corn knight. Yeah. So you are the highest ranking corn player. Ooh. So I think like like the Black Orcs don't have that much time to think here. But the one of the things you gotta be thinking about to some level is like 24 squares, right? That is around here. So already that is an important kick landing there. That was not what the Black Orcs were hoping for.
No,
Did the chaos come back? No. Yeah, well, the Source came back, but not the other one.
the Saurus came back. Yeah,
Player for the right job. An interesting technique. I'm sure perfectly good
I would say the Black Orcs is not off to a great start here.
An interesting
no,
I'm sure
Not that the fat lady's a song or anything, but also because, like, let's be fair, like if this goes into overtime, the Black Orcs definitely have the advantage.
they've got the attrition advantage for sure.
But I would also say, like, if I was to go down into a betting store and make a wager on this match right now at this very second, I wouldn't be putting my money on overtime.
No,
Well,
no.
Yeah. Also, the Black Orcs haven't actually made that much headway here. What's going to be a bit of an issue is that there's going to be a lot of space in here between that's not a bad decision, because there's going to be a lot of empty space down between here where the skinks could sort of operate.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance we're going to see the Lizardmen try to
I mean,
plow a hole here.
Do you think that's it? Plow a hole, or do you think maybe try and knock the ogre over to take away the gobbo throw?
I think. Well, of course, someone had to break that plan in the very last second here. I was going to say, I'm going to attack the troll. Because if I could delay, hold the troll like a little bit back and just the middle a little bit back, it would be like, you're going to have to run that gobbling up through the field by itself at some point. By the troll now having that assist, that means that I can't get 2 dice. Yeah, that removal is important. Because every single piece that goes down here and removes is a piece that's not clocking up the Black Orcs next turn, right?
Yeah. And they're exactly where they need to be for 3-turn scores. Like, they need rushes to get there.
So right now, right, like with perfect movement forward, no delay or anything, this gobbo is exactly within range, right?
Yeah. He's going to throw a screen, try and slow him down.
Yeah, not a great fan of that. But there again, Tector is the one in the final with a 1-goal lead at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And the retreating screen worked for him on defense the first time round. I mean, why not try it again, hey?
Can't blame the logic in that, right? That's also why it becomes a little disjointed for me. Like, why are we blitzing over here if clearly the main push is going to be coming up here anyway? Like, then why are we pushing down here? But I don't know. It's because it's sort of like you want to create at least somewhere where you are ahead, and therefore you can sort of stage from. But I don't think so. Also because like next turn you really wanted to be punching that over there, right?
Yeah.
Though I'm foreseeing this one wandering up here. I know you want to keep doing your attrition, but this is the point where you really need to stop doing the attrition and focus on just movement. Yeah, you're gonna have to eat that. I know it's not gonna be first instinct, but you're gonna have no. Can you explain to me why we rerun that?
I don't know, but I'm really hoping that you do your season 57 predictions tonight because you've got everything wrong so far.
I better and worse. I have done my predictions tonight.
Oh, have you? Okay,
Yes.
that makes me feel very happy.
I'm hoping that because I made the predictions before this match, I get all my predictions right. Because I've not got any predictions right for this match, right? Wow. That reel there, I think, is going to come back and bite so much. Yeah.
That's a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one.
Well, that's good enough. Not exactly what you wanted, but it's good enough. Yeah, we leave that. We get eat dust. There was the 80k worth of T value right there. You're gonna have to swing this round. Leave that one, but swing this one around. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say you might.
He's going all in to stop it now, isn't he? This team isn't existing next season, so this is just.
Oh no, he doesn't have
tag
to
up.
Yeah, but I think he would do it still. Like, anyway, but here's also the thing. Like the thing that slightly concerns me is like you're gonna have a really interesting turn next turn, and we are really running out of time here.
Yeah.
Oh, the troll does his thing. That's really important.
That player's a little short. Oh no, mine is dead.
That is important.
Yeah, gonna go up here. Gonna go up here. Oh. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have to put that one there. Why all the way over there? I don't get it. Yeah. And in here, because you have no protection otherwise behind you. Clock up over here. No, okay. Back to it exactly. No, RTSD has not been slow. It is just have had some turns where there was a lot of things to consider.
This new high destiny feed is crystal clear.
What do you want to take odds on that this is going to dodge in a second?
They should contact his HR department immediately.
You think?
Well, we did reroll the double skull, right?
That player's earned their wages today.
So it was this one over here instead. Of course, clearly. Oh, God. God. What are you going to do here? As much as I hate to say it, but it's starting to look a lot like a touchdown this year.
Yeah. You 1D. I mean, it's a 1D to push the. Gone that way.
Yeah. And stand firm. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. Now, that is roughly 80k worth out there.
I've seen lying on the field.
Well, there we go.
Well,
The fat lady is definitely starting to warm up here.
Yeah.
It's not over, but damn, that was important.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, also a bit lucky, but
Well, sometimes you make your own luck, including putting strength 3 on a skink.
don't listen to Angel. He does not know what he's talking about. We're back to this aggressive play, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can review that, definitely. But
Are you kidding me? Don't try that kind of.
okay, so basically we just need the ball to get here, and then it's a touchdown, right? The easiest is this one here. So we need to probably get this one away. But you have 2 minutes and 17 seconds, so you need to think about like what you do here. We're not going to be throwing goblins, so I would probably block here. Not as the first, but here. With new rerolls.
Got any advice for the budding coach then, Bob?
At least that clears the path.
Because you never know who might be looking. Some of these cameras work both ways.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Now his buddy can move freely.
1, 2, 3.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Hand off.
Why are we
Now his buddy can move freely.
punching at this point?
I'm not entirely sure.
Neither am I. Like at this point, like anything but the touchdown is 1, 2. And there you have it, boys and girls. That reroll
What's wrong, Bob?
and the cost. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Tetrak. That was well done. And really
Yeah.
well done not listening to me and LittleWing. That's proves it. Just don't do and listen to us. That's and commiserations, RTSD. That was that could definitely also have gone the other way. Definitely. But
Yeah.
the small details definitely did seem to just... Let's see if we can find that. I don't know if any of them are in a mood to join us or have the technical capacity to do so. I'll just write them here.
Well, that was. Do you know what? I'm actually really impressed with the way Tector played in that. He's normally very, very aggressive, but he calmed that. He was aggressive when he needed to be, and it did come off. And I guess that's where the luck comes in. But he did create that luck. I think that was a really good performance from him. And
Yeah, also
he didn't panic. He didn't panic with the attrition. He didn't burn his appos early. It was. I'm going to watch it back, of course, but I think that was quite an impressive performance, actually.
I think, which is, I think in a way, often also a very telling thing is it was a very controlled and not to your normal playing style, which I think is sort of a testament to that you sort of say like, what I usually do will probably not work in this situation, so I need to be doing something else. And that sort of insight, if it's correct, which I think it was in this case, is very important and very telling for a good player. Like that you aren't or like able to tell like my normal approach will probably not fit this thing, right? So the geckos had slightly above dice, but just couldn't make any stumbles. And yeah, the burgers they did like their lower action dice, but a better block dice. So I think like, and this is not a perfect statement of luck in any shape of way or form, but like some sort of indication, right? Yeah, I think you can look at the armor rolls up here that like there's that there seems to be something going on here with those armors that is not really really weird, but that's yeah, I think the Lizardmen just got away with playing a little bit more to their strength and running and boxing in the Black Orcs and the Goblins from going where they wanted to go and just slowing them enough down that they have to make sort of like risky moves, which I think is more or less the only way you can beat the Black Orcs if you don't have claws or something similar to really.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I can see Tector intact. Congratulations. I wonder if you're thinking back on that game, that actually the most important action happened turn 1 in RTSD when he couldn't pick up that ball and got stuck deep, because you feel if that went to overtime, that with the attrition that would happen, then it's a Blork victory. Just goes to show, a turn 1 action can dictate the rest of the game.
I think for my take, I think the failing of the picking up, of course, is very important. But I think when Tector sort of pulled back, I think that sort of reset itself. And yes, like Tector says here, turn 1 was pretty big, but honestly, he recovered well, and I think that. I think but I don't know if we're lucky enough to also have our it's a really hard name to pronounce, at least for a Danish person. RTSD. Lucky enough to have you in the chat, but like I would really be interested in hearing which for both of you two, hopefully, which were the key point of the game. Like, what was the thing you think that sort of turned the game in the direction you either wanted or did not want it to? Yeah, I think those free plus dodges. Like, again, it's not unlikely that you succeed again, right? But it's also like one of those things where the consequences of those failing, right? Yeah, the Crocs, the breaking tackle. I think in all fairness, also the Crocs did have a good match. I think did it lose any? Nope. 12 more hits. Succeeded. That's a well-behaved Crocs there. I don't think the Troll can quite compete on that one. No, it failed 3 out of 15, which is actually not that far from statistic. But yeah. I'm guessing you also kept your APOC, let's say, drive for longer because the injuries was just not badly hurt, so you wanted to save one of your players for keeping them on the field for later. Is that why you sort of didn't use it earlier, the APOC? Yeah. No, especially with getting a new team next season, right? But also, I think the only one I would have maybe considered one was the second last MNG of the first half, where it's like, but you never know. Like, at least you got the Croc, which was a certain, right? No, I know that feeling. That doesn't help the performance of looking on. But correct me if I'm wrong. The KO'd Soros from first half. He didn't get back for second half, right? He got back for the second drive of the second half, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that might have been, but it's one of those cases where it's sort of like, I think at that time, at least, I'm trying to recall the game here. I think it was one point where it's like there's a good chance I'll get 2 KO roll to get him back before second half. Where it was definitely not sure that you would be able to stop the drive on first half. It's one of those things. It's hard to tell, like whether it's one or the other. Yeah, I think it's one of those games where, and you that's not uncommon when you play against Black Orcs, right? But the attrition is going to come hard and fast against you, and once that starts coming in, it's just narrows down what you can do, and considering that, I think you really managed well to stop him and then get that crucial touchdown. Yeah, the rookie one was, but I think also that's why you didn't use the APOC on the KO roll, because as far as I remember, it was the rookie Saurus, right? But yeah. But when you're facing against a murdering team like this, you have to make some really tough calls towards the injury rolls that you don't really like, and I think, at least from team maintenance point of view, it makes playing against Black Orcs quite often unpleasant. I think in that sense, being the final match for this team, it sort of helped a little bit of alleviating that stress. Though, as I have also said, like playing against 6 Black Orcs with 3 Saurs is just gonna be rough. But I think if we look at the second half, like, I think it's good that he didn't have one more turn. No. No, but I'm pleasantly surprised to see you picking goblins. I love goblins. And like I said, I don't know if you're here for that time of the show. I really hope that in 4 seasons, I'll be covering you in another grand final. Just to that point, of course, playing your goblins, that would be amazing. I would love to do that. Yeah, I think actually just reminded me, because we just playing the background here, the replay, right? Those moles, I think, though I don't think they actually tripped any dice, I think they definitely affected the, let's call it, decision process.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a key fail pickup there. Actually, talking about, so here in a couple 2 turns, I think it is, you decided to sort of pull back instead of keep pushing for stopping. What was, can you explain a little bit about what was you thinking about, like opting to pull back instead of sort of say up in the ante? Yeah, I agree with that. I think at least just for, yeah, I think this is more or less the turn where I just think, at least from my point of view here, the positioning is still just so fragile that pushing for this I would probably have done. Did the double skull here also sort of affect the? Yeah, true. The rushes being mold is definitely gonna also. Because I think this sort of, like we talked about, like sort of resets the failed pickup, right? Because you're going back to a more flat defense and sort of just positioning, screening instead of chasing the ball. But like I said, I can also see how, like, yeah, also 2 stuns. Yeah. Yeah. I must admit, before the match, I was thinking very much those strength 3 skink as a bloat. Uh, but I will say that he definitely did perform quite well this match.
Yeah, 2 key blocks from him, including a turn 15 turnover. Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge. But yeah. So when you chose to give him the strength, was it because you were thinking he will become a bit like the Sauruses, so you could basically have a 7th Saurus in a way with this guy? Was that thinking, or was it just that it's shiny, I must have it? Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah. Yeah, I think also there was some dauntless rolls, and definitely it also helps with that. Yeah, and it becomes quite the ball thread, right? Like and I think also that's caused some of the slowness from the Black Orcs, in the sense that they couldn't reliably just leave the ball carrier too unprotected, because like anytime this guy gets anywhere near, there's a huge risk, right? Yeah, exactly. So you can see here, like, we have to put this up here, right? That's just an example, right, for a turn. But yeah. Yes, I think for I don't know if you have any more questions, LittleWing. Otherwise, I think we should maybe consider also wrapping up. It's getting to be at least a little bit late where I am.
Yep. No, I think you covered everything there, mate.
Good. Then I will plug 2 things afterwards here, but I will repeat. Congratulations, Tector. You played really well, and congratulations to you, RTSD. You played also really well. I think the favor just favored the bold a little bit more today than the conservative play, and might have been the other way around, but that's the way the Nuffle sometimes picks things, right? So, yeah. So we have, for those who have properly noticed, we already have sort of started the next season. People are already quite heavily trickling into our teams, different divisions, I mean, the teams. So on next Monday, we have already hinted a little bit about this, me and LittleWing. There will be some predictions about who will win the different divisions. And I will hope that it goes better than my predictions from this match of what would happen, because it was almost perfectly wrong all the way through.
Was. But I think I'm correct in saying that you won last season. You got the highest score last season, didn't you? So you're the man to beat this season.
I think it was Phil, wasn't it?
No, I think Phil won with all, unless there were any last minute changes. But anyway, what was definitely sure is that I was last.
Yeah, by a few points. It wasn't hugely. As far as I remember, it was Phil or me. Definitely Phil. If we just looked at Aldolf, got that more or less perfectly right. And then I think you and I were sort of tight. And if we just looked at Forrest, Phil definitely didn't do so well. But I think also Forrest is so much more, also because there's so many people dropping out and jumping in and jumping out and stuff like that. So I think it gets a little bit wonky down there. Which is also why we have tried something new this season. We have random what teams we'll be teams. I keep saying teams instead of apparently divisions here, but no, we have randomly the divisions. Yes, Uh, yeah, I'm sorry for that, Corn Knight. I will do better in the future. But so I think you and I are covering Prem, LittleWing, and I think me and Phil are covering Aldorf, and I think we all have a hill team, and then you and Phil are covering the forests divisions as far as I remember from memory. So take with a grain of salt. But we will try to predict both winners of the divisions, who's going to make it for the playoffs and all that sort of thing. So should be a great show. I know it's Phil's favorite and it's probably also my favorite. What about you, LittleWing?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good, and also it's a little bit of a preview to next season as well. So you get to look at all the new teams that have come in. You get to see who's in the Prem, who's in the mix for what's going forward. So yeah, it's always a good show.
And maybe even talk to some of the new players. The World Cup ticket, as far as I know, that's on Waldorf's table. I don't know how that is, whether it's... I think this might be the season where you don't have a ticket for. Because the late date of it. But I actually don't know. Waldorf is the guy to ask. And it also brings up a really interesting question, which is, you might want to ask him also, I don't even know if there's a ticket for next season. I think there is. As far as I know, this is purely for me speculating, guessing here, so take it for nothing more than that. As far as I remember, we get 2 tickets because we are such a big league, and there was talk about that there would be one for, hopefully going forward, at least one for each winner. But I'm not sure if that's how it ended up, or if there's something other decision making. Waldorf will know that. So, washing my hands here, clear of any. Good. The other thing that is also going on is, of course, we will have another Far Albion Cup season running next to the normal league like we usually have. And for those who are not familiar, this is a friendly match knockout tournament in classic British FA Cup style. It's modeled off that, meaning that it's teams from all the divisions playing against teams from all divisions. It's win or lose and be out. And since it's friendly matches, your team cannot get damaged. So no matter who you run into, no matter how bad it gets, there's no bad consequences for your team. However, for signing up and playing your first match, win or lose, you will get 20k. That is for real for your team to spend. And as we all know, gold at the start of the season is really, really precious. And if you do well even, you will get to play some more matches and you will even eventually be able to also win some star player points and some more gold if you can keep winning. But if you just sign up and play one match, win or lose, no consequences, you will get gold. So there's no reason not to take part, other than if you don't have the time, which is also fair enough, because you will need to play the matches right. There's a 2-week cadence normally, so if you were to win it, you will play again in 2 weeks. We have had winners for more or less. I think actually we have had winners for all tiers. So even the new, fresh Tier 4 teams have actually won the FA Cup in previous seasons. Last season, LittleWing, correct me if I'm wrong here, but that was Aldorf, right?
It was La La La.
From Aldorf,
La
right?
La La Prout was Aldorf, yeah.
Yeah. And then the year before, it was Senjo from Hills, as far as I remember. So Prem has actually been on a bit of a curse streak here of not being able to win a final in a couple of years, seasons, and I think that means that it has to be almost like it has to be Forest this time, or it has to be Prem. That's my predictions.
That's your prediction.
I was just, as you could hear, I was just about to say it. I was like, no, I don't want to go down that road. Please don't make me. It's so dark down here.
You went down there willingly.
Well, I definitely noticed it too late. Oh, yeah. I jinxed that one, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, good luck to Forest and Hills, because you will definitely take this all off. So, now that's my prediction instead. No. And as always, if you have any questions about the redraft or anything, we are working overtime, all the big guys, to get the redraft, but in classic Cyanide style and format, it's not really working so well, the systems behind the scenes, and that makes a lot of work for us. But I will give a hats up both to the big guys for all the work, but I would also say you players have been taking it really well for all the disruption and chaos it just caused. So a big thanks all around, definitely for my sake.
Yeah, for sure. I'll second that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's nothing else to yet again say congratulations, Tector, for your, I think, another title as far as I remember. I think you have a title before. Seem to. And congratulations for RTSD for making it so far and still being cheated on the finishing line. Quite almost literally here. 2 free pluses and it would have been overtime and more or less guaranteed win, right? But yeah. Always a bridesmaid, right? That's how it goes. I will say thank you, and I'll leave the mic to you. So bye-bye for me, and see you next time.
Yep. Good night, everyone. Congratulations, Tector. Commiserations, RTSD. We will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.